G'day, I'm Pete Seligman. There are a growing number of people thinking about buying a business in this region, but it can be hard to see what that actually looks like. So to help bring one part of that process to life, I've teamed up with my mates Jason Andrew and James Frank to throw some businesses on the table and share our raw thoughts on each. This is EtA Downunder. We hope you enjoy it.
Okay, fleet. So I don't know if the fleet that this thing manages is big enough to pique James's interest. But
got to get in at some point.
So it says great opportunities while optimizing your fleet operations. A leading provider of commercial fleet maintenance solutions established in 2011. So it's been around for a while. It's interesting. Strategic location with high foot traffic. I never would have thought that foot traffic would have mattered to a fleet management company, but specialized maintenance and repair service. Spacious workshop spanning 300 square meters. Oh, depends on your perspective of spacious. Jason, I dare say that the warehouse you're about to acquire is bigger than 300 square meters. Blue chip clients and 160 grand worth of equipment. It says expressions of interest. I probably would have been putting a dollar figure on this one.
Oh, it's a private seller.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, there you go. Interesting.
So they're having a go just to see if they can sell. That's probably why they were an expression of interest. They don't know how much it's worth. So, we should click inquire right now and live write them some feedback. Say, anyway, let's have a look.
What does it say? Currently an offer is a well-established commercial fleet maintenance and compressor repair business in Willawong. Well, that's too easy. That's too easy. That's
James is going to find the company. High quality solutions for commercial vehicles, including trucks, trailers, and plants. So fleet maintenance and compressor repair business. Like that seems pretty specialist. Like when I first read the headline, it said fleet maintenance. I'm thinking more like, okay, you've got a whole fleet. You're thinking about like tire changes and like
oil, just general
shows and
servicing.
Right?
Yeah.
But to combine that comment with compressor repair business seems a little bit specialized. Minimize downtime for fleet, 24-hour call out, decade of experience, loyal blue chip customers, prime location. That's good. The dedicated office space has a kitchenette. That's good to know. I reckon we could help this guy with his pitch. I know it's a private seller, so as we say about vendors of small businesses, it's probably the first and only time they'll ever sell a business. So they often don't have a lot of experience in pulling this stuff together. And it shows like a relatively quick conversation with someone that's done it before could really tighten this listing up.
For sure.
And
mate, that's a business in itself. I think you can offer as a service.
This is something. I mean, it's interesting. We should have a chat to the guys at businesssales.com, because it's the kind of thing where I wonder whether when you go to create a listing as a private seller, there is a button you can click that says "Help me with my listing." That'd definitely be a worthwhile add-on.
This is like there's two locations. They're in Victoria and Queensland.
Really?
Not fleet It's not fleet maintenance. It's fleet maintenance, but it's not like I thought vehicle fleet.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah. So
I think it's I think it's compressor fleet.
Yeah, right.
Fleet of industrial products that you go and service on site.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, which is why again I find it funny that the second, like it says key sales highlights, the second dot point says high foot traffic. Like that to me is like that's what you look for some sort of retail outlet,
cafe, restaurant.
Well, so they do. They sell. Like if it's the one that I found, they sell compressors. They've got a shop, like an online shop as well as an offline shop.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So again, so this episode is going to be less about what do we think of this business and more about preparing a business listing 101, right? Like you pretty quickly you can see that the way this listing has been pitched. Look at the image in the back, which down the bottom has the disclaimer saying this may be a stock image. But if you look at the image in the back, what they're talking about here, is industrial compressors for various purposes, right?
Yeah.
They sell them, they service them.
That's why your workshop at 300 squares
Yeah.
is, you're like, vehicle. You're not putting a vehicle in 300 squares.
I know. Yeah, that actually makes sense. It's full of small industrial compressors, right? Yeah, and the 24-hour call-out service makes sense, right? Because you've got all these people with compressors doing various things across their factory floor.
Yeah.
So, Jace, your new digs, they'll have compressors, right? So you might need these guys, but
For sure.
yeah, gotcha. Wow, it's really interesting, isn't it? Like, it's the kind of thing where a listing like this, you could really tweak up a lot. I really shouldn't add another thing to my list of things to do before Christmas, but I really feel like contacting the guy and saying, hey, can I just give you 15 minutes of help actually pitching this? Because it doesn't even really talk. I mean, I guess it kind of talks here about working flexible hours and potential for future growth and lifestyle business and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I imagine that in buying this is going to be pretty small. I don't know, James, you can tell us. You're looking at the website. So
I just when I read 24-hour call out service and lifestyle business, those two sentences just don't gel with me.
Yeah.
It's like you can call up at 3 a.m. in the morning and fix compressor is not what I would consider a lifestyle business.
Yeah.
Each of their own. I assume they have some technicians that do all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny. I actually think subject to how big or not it is, I don't know, I can't work out how many people are involved in it, but they've got like partnerships with like some key providers, and so the sales component, like they look like a really interesting industrial, business around air compression, right? Which, they talk about repair and breakdown, installation, leak detection, air dryer, line replacement. They got a shop. It's like, this seems like a really good.
So do you think it sounds to me like you think this listing is underselling the opportunity here?
Significantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that every factory, and we're talking like there's a photo here that's like a massive air sort of process, right? Now it may be a one truck kind of entity, and that makes it difficult, but equally, like they're selling something that is fundamental, and you could create a really good service model out of recurring, proactive,
preventative maintenance in this stuff would be awesome, right? You could sell that out of the way. Like,
sell membership
for a $500 call out fee. Let me come out like 4 times a year for $100 just to check everything's fine, right? Like, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, this could be the agent itself, right? Like this guy's he's listing his business, hoping that he'll find a buyer through, businesssales.com.au, and people like us are reviewing this like, oh yeah, fleet service not interesting, but you do another layer of research and realize actually there's a gem of a business here potentially. If you do the extra work to actually discover, actually they've just done a really poor job marketing it. That could result in less competition, less buyers, and therefore a better price, or somewhere across these things. So now perhaps the lesson in this is, number one, get help if you want to list your business for sale. Like, get help from copywriting expert, or pick someone like Pete to give you some pointers. But secondly, just don't take things at face value. I think just spend the extra couple of minutes to Google search the company if it's anonymous, and see for yourself.
Definitely from a buyer's perspective, that you can't take the face value of these things very often, right? Like, because absolutely looking at this one. Like it's funny, like even just so we spent 5 minutes looking at it, and my impression of this business has changed like 3 times already, right? So it was like, oh, this is a fleet management business. Oh wait, no, it's not. Oh wait a second, it's tiny. Oh, maybe it's not worth it. Oh wait a second, maybe it is. Like you can just spending a bit of time makes a lot of sense, and also it makes a lot of sense just to click that inquire button and just like learn a bit more about it.
Yeah, for sure. They just need to remove fleet from like the whole copy. From the copy, they'll just delete fleet and replace it with industrial product operations or manufacturing or just compression operations. Like,
well, again, just being really direct. Like, this is what we do, right?
Yeah.
I think some people get really nervous about other people finding out who they are. So it's like, imagine trying to list your house for sale, but not wanting to tell anyone where it is. And not wanting to put any photos of it. I mean, imagine if this was a real estate website and it had all these houses listed for sale with no photos, no location, like no address, no real details on, you know, how many beds and bathrooms, but then it just says, tell me how much you think it's worth. It's like, I've got nothing to work with you. So
you know what, and that we're going to a bit of attention here, but like, you know, I think for the folks who are interested in ETA, who are probably new to understand the culture of like buying a business, it's the culture of buying a business is so different to buying any other asset in your life, right? So I compare it to like if you're buying a house, you know, the culture is you go on realestate.com, you find the house you want, you have the address, you have all the details, you go visit, you'll walk around, meet the real estate agent, and then you're expected to basically put in an offer. And that's a competitive process, but in the end, that offer becomes a contract, which you pay a deposit, which is binding, subject to, you know, finance and building pests, which are the only 2 clauses to get out. But you're putting money down and you're locked into a contract, and so long as past the building pests and so long as you can finance it, it's done, right? It's yours. But when it comes to buying a business, like it is almost the complete opposite process, right? You don't, you find a listing like this, which is intentionally vague. You don't know. You're trying to work out, okay, is this the thing? There's also no price in these businesses as well. So you're trying to calculate the price of what you're willing to pay instead of the real estate agent telling you this is how much the price is. So you're trying to work out what it's worth based on some financials, which are how do you value the business? Well, it's based on financials. So you also have to know, are the financials fake or real, or are they even within the realm of being accurate? So you're making a decision, but then when you decide to put in your MBIO or your LOI, then none of that's binding anyway, right? So you're not even putting any money down. There's no binding process, and then you're locked into exclusivity for a period of time. But either party can just walk out if, for whatever reason, you know, for whatever reason, but that might be DD, or it could be, don't have the money, I'm not interested. Like you can just leave and that's a broken deal and whatever.
It's much more of a dance than a structure, isn't it?
100%. That's what I think. Like I call it the culture. Like the culture of M&A in business, and particularly SMEs, is so different to anything else that you buy. And I actually understand that nuance is a bit of an edge in itself, because if you actually understand the process, which is very different, you can get much further, because I think that's just, I don't know what your experience, guys, with deals, but like I think empirically only 1 in 3 deals actually gets completion. You know, the most fall over, well, in my experience, 50% fall over in DD, and then for some, you know, usually it's a financing reason, never gets to completion. So the strike rate's already really, really low, relative to if you're buying a house, it's usually 100%. Shouldn't get the money. So it's an interesting nuance.
It's a different dynamic, and even if you don't necessarily know that difference, even just acknowledging that there is one, so then you go and find people to help you navigate it, is worthwhile.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more, please hit us up on LinkedIn. You can find all 3 of our profiles in the show notes below. And stay tuned for the next episode.